How's it going? Alright, before I start, if the audio is really bad, too loud or whatever, distorted, I'm sorry. I fell foul to the hideous, well-known GoPro microphone adapter problem this week, which means all the footage and everything from a Boston bike night is all mute. So gutted about that, really annoyed. I'd also, the day before, done this vlog, and they want to say that I'm going to the Silly Sausage Fest on Saturday, weather permitting, so that still stands. So a two-topic vlog. So yeah, I'm heading to that. And I've got in touch with Hepcat Harley, and hopefully I should have a fresh batch of stickers to hand out to people who want them from down south, who I've never met before. Well, anybody, particularly if you don't have one or I've not met you before. Susnet, I'm looking your way. Whoa. Oh right, where was I? Yeah, so another 5 questions from Amy, courtesy of Suffolk Andy from Ipswich. And her first one: if you could go back in time and meet any person from history, who would it be? And I've had a little bit of chance to plan this one now, and it would be Madame Curie for me. Just because she has saved so many people's lives, basically. Yeah, I just wanted to see how she, you know, you imagine being there when she was doing all the research on radiation, and it was radium that her and her husband discovered after she moved to France from Poland. And she also became the leader of the Red Cross during World War I. She's just a huge inspiration to me. The things that she achieved. Not that I'm involved in science anyway, but this, you know, from what people would think is a doomed background of hers, she went on to be one of the most poignant scientists we've ever had. And the stuff that she put herself through to further her work as well, that's what interests me so much about her. Come on, guys. And Amy's second question, this is a Saturday night, I shouldn't be doing this in town on a Saturday night, bad idea. Yeah, second question: if you could only ever own, for the rest of the time, a sport bike, cruiser or dual sport, what would you have and why? And for me, it would be, surprisingly to some of you, I guess, a sport bike. And that's just because the cruisers aren't really my thing. As much as Skeggy will argue that they can go quick, and Dean as well, they probably can, but I'd say roughly 70% of the enjoyment of a bike is the feeling of power and speed for me. So I think that's why I'd have a sport bike, and I'd put up with the cramp and the lack of comfort for the excitement that it could bring. Around bends and with acceleration and stuff like that. I think I'd have something like a ZX12 like Weggy, because they're kind of like the big bruisers, aren't they, the sports bikes. Who is your favourite racer of all time, of any time period? Well, this isn't a surprise to some people, I guess, because I own 2 of his replica helmets. The one, Valentino Rossi. I I guess some people would say it's not very patriotic of me, or I'm a Glory supporter or something, but my reasons actually is because when I first got into watching racing, which was like end of 98, 99, he was in the 250 class. He was very young, I think he was like 18 right then. And at the time, he was like the only one doing like the outrageous celebrations and crazy haircuts and dyeing his hair. And he was quite close to my age, or the closest. And I just kind of looked at him and I thought, yeah, he's really cool. He, you know, he is good as well, but he's got a bit of character. He's not boring. Yeah, so that's why I like him. There's actually Monster Energy have got like a little series going on, a long-running series on YouTube about him. I think they're up to episode 4 now. Yeah, it's very interesting. Kind of about his private life and stuff. It's still quite corporate and for the sponsors, but it gives you an insight into his home life. Yeah, so while he can still be very ruthless on and off track, I think he's a good guy at heart, really. Another one is, if you could only take one more ride, what would it be? I'm gonna kind of take the pedantic route on this one and say around the world. I would start at my humble little shire and go on an adventure. I would probably go over the Atlantic first, and then start in Canada and kind of like zigzag my way north to south up the States through Canada, or then back up to Alaska, over into Russia, and then do the same through there, and just gradually make my way home. Because if it's going to be your last ride, you might as well say it all. What is your worst job you have ever done? Now, I think Captain Cranky has won the award on this one. A special mention for him. As if you've not seen that, his version of these questions or answers to these questions, go and look and listen to the job one, because that is scary as hell, and I would not have wanted to be in that situation. And I think he is a very brave man. What I was doing, I was working doing some maintenance on the council tenant properties in Derbyshire. Should I name and shame? Yeah, Duffield in Derbyshire. And they were ground floor flats, and I'd heard rumours about this guy. The flats were being refurbished, sorry, the kitchens. And I'd heard rumours about this guy in the state of his house. I must warn you now, if you're eating, either leave this video for later or stop eating. Yeah, so I shall carry on now. You've been warned. It was time for me to go in the kitchen, and upon opening the front door of his flat, not even the kitchen door, what can only be described as the smell of human feces entered my nostrils. Took my breath, was fighting my gag reflex, and walked through into the front room, his living room, where he had a little cave kind of set up, where he had his TV, his computer desk, and a chair. That was the only thing accessible. Everything else was piled up pizza boxes, milk cartons which had contents. What else was in there? Crisp packets and empty frozen dinner boxes. And this is pretty bad. This was quite disgusting for me to encounter, I must say. And the smell was just terrifying. It was terrible, terrifying as well. Oh god, it was bad. It's absolutely. If you ever seen the film Harry Brown, right, you're probably gonna know where I'm going. You know, there's a certain like flat or house that he visits to buy. I think it's to buy a gun in that film, like a crack den, and that is what. Imagine what that smelled like. That's what this place smelled like. For the next 4 days, I had to go in and out of there and help refurbish that kitchen. And what I was later told by, I think it was a social worker, that during his long video game stints, he would use these milk cartons and orange juice cartons to urinate into. So if they weren't containing urine, they were containing maybe 4 or 5 week old milk. And that, it brought a tear to the eye, that smell. Is that car stopping? Yes, he is. That was bad. On the last day, I actually started gagging in the house and had to make a swift exit. So, sorry about that if I've caught you while you're eating, but I did warn you. That was really bad. It was so bad, in fact, that a few of the guys actually refused to go in there and work. Had I known that you could do that, I probably would have. That was the last one, so there we go. That's my 5 answers for Amy. The second group of questions that she's asked. Everybody, why don't you give it a go? I'll stick the link, if I can remember, I'll stick the link to Andy's original video in the description. And I think what would be a good idea is if there's a playlist so everybody could add their own, and then we can go through everybody's answers. There may be one, I don't know. So yeah, and remember the Silly Sausage Fest at Loomies on Saturday. I think it's the 15th or 16th, whatever it is. Oh, I'm now lost. Yeah, I should be there. I think there's a few people said they're coming. It's all weather dependent, and also Parsons Nose / Parson Drove. I might call it Parsons Nose. I should be going there the day after. So yeah, look forward to it. And it should be a great weekend of biking for me. It's like 2.5 hours each way to Loomies. But yeah, I'm going to cut this here because it's been way too long and I want to get this out in good time so you all know what's happening. And I shall see you all on the next one. Ride safe. Love you lots. Bye-sies.